6 points. That's all that separated Alexandra Eala from one of the biggest upsets of the clay season. 6 points standing between a 20-year-old Filipina rising star and a former Grand Slam champion who hits the ball like she has a personal grudge against it. And yet, somehow, that 6-point margin tells you almost nothing about what actually happened out there on the courts of the Lindt Open. Because the real story, the one buried underneath the scoreline, is far more complicated, far more fascinating, and honestly, far more heartbreaking than a simple straight sets loss. Welcome back to Plus Court Pro, where we don't just read the scoreboard, we tear it apart until we find the truth hiding inside it. Today we're doing exactly that with Alex Eala's match against Jelena Ostapenko, and I promise you, by the time we're done here, you're going to look at this result in a completely different way. Now, before anything else, let's be upfront about something. We came into this match backing Alex. We believed her heavy left-handed topspin game was the right weapon to slow down Ostapenko's chaos ball tennis. We were wrong about the outcome. But here's the thing, being wrong about a prediction doesn't mean we were wrong about the player, and that distinction matters enormously when you're talking about someone at this stage of their career. So let's walk through exactly what happened piece by piece, because the box score from this match is genuinely one of the most fascinating statistical documents I've seen from a WTA match this season. Jelena Ostapenko is one of the most unique athletes in professional tennis. She doesn't construct points the way most modern players do. She doesn't build pressure gradually. She doesn't work the geometry of the court in the traditional sense. She just picks up the ball and hits it as hard as physically possible until either she wins the point or the ball lands somewhere in another time zone. That's not an exaggeration. That's genuinely her game. And it makes her one of the most volatile, unpredictable, and at times completely unplayable opponents on the entire tour. Going into this match, we knew Ostapenko was going to be dangerous. What we maybe underestimated was just how perfectly her particular style of chaos would exploit the one weakness in Alex's game that nobody had really stress-tested at this level yet. But we'll get to that. First, let's talk about how close this actually was, because the casual viewer who glanced at that 6-4, 7-5 scoreline and moved on missed something important. Ostapenko won 74 total points in that match. Alex won 68. That's it. That's the entire gap between winning and losing. In a match that lasted 2 full sets against a seeded Grand Slam champion on an indoor clay surface, Alex Eala was separated from victory by 6 total points. That's not a defeat, that's a photo finish. And to make Ostapenko's side of the ledger even more remarkable, she handed Alex 9 break point opportunities across the match, and Alex converted 4 of them for breaks of serve against the number 4 seed. In any other context, that's a dominant performance. You break a top 5 player 4 times in 2 sets, you're probably writing a winner's speech. But this match had a different story running underneath all of that, one that quietly and systematically dismantled everything Alex tried to build. Ostapenko served 11 double faults. 11! That's almost comical. She was gifting Alex free points at a rate that should have made this match completely unwinnable for the Latvian. And yet there it is, Ostapenko's name in the winner's column. So, how does that happen? How do you give away 11 free points, face 4 breaks of serve, and still win comfortably in straight sets? The answer is one statistic, and it's the kind of number that makes you stop scrolling and actually think. Alex Eala's second serve win percentage in this match was 0%. Not low, not poor, 0. She did not win a single point in the entire match when she was forced to hit a second serve. Let that sit for a second. In professional tennis, your second serve is your safety net. It's the shot you fall back on when your first serve misfires. And in a 2-set match at this level, you're going to miss first serves. That's just physics and probability. But every single time Alex missed that first delivery, the point was already over. She just didn't know it yet, because Ostapenko had clearly done her homework. The moment she saw that second serve coming, she was already moving. She stepped a full meter or two inside the baseline, took the ball on the rise before Alex could even reset her positioning, and drove a flat winner into the open court with the kind of certainty you only see from players who have identified a vulnerability and committed to exploiting it completely. There were no long rallies on Alex's second serve. There were no exchanges where she could use her movement or her topspin or her tactical instincts to drag Ostapenko into uncomfortable territory. The point ended before the rally began, every single time. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because that 0% number created a chain reaction that warped every other statistic in the match. Look at Alex's first serve percentage, 88%. For a 20-year-old on indoor clay against a top 5 seed, that is a staggering number. Machine-like consistency, the kind of first serve percentage that coaches point to as a sign of mental composure under pressure. But when you frame it next to that 0 on the second serve column, it completely changes meaning. That 88% wasn't dominance, it was survival. Alex knew, somewhere in the middle of that match, in real time, she understood that missing a first serve meant losing the point. So she made the rational adjustment any competitor would make. She dialed back the power and the placement on her first serve just enough to make sure it landed. She turned her first serve into a glorified second serve just to keep herself in the rally. And it worked, in the sense that she kept the ball in play. But it cost her the offensive weapon that a first serve is supposed to provide. She was only winning 52% of her first serve points, which tells you that Ostapenko was reading those safer deliveries easily and stepping into them just as aggressively. Alex was trapped in a loop that had no exit. Go big on the first serve, risk a miss, face certain death on the second. Play it safe on the first serve, surrender the advantage, and get pinned in the baseline by someone who hits the ball harder than almost anyone alive. There was no good option. And that trap, that specifically designed, match-long trap, is honestly the most impressive part of Ostapenko's game plan. She didn't just win this match with raw power. She won it by creating a psychological and tactical environment where Alex could not make a single clean decision under pressure. Ostapenko converted 6 of those 9 break point opportunities she generated. 6 breaks of serve in 12 service games. Think about what that means structurally. Every time Alex managed to break through and take a service game from Ostapenko, despite the double faults, despite the erratic mechanics, Ostapenko walked to the other end of the court and broke straight back. The scoreboard never let Alex breathe. Every foothold she gained was immediately ripped away, because the moment her serve was under any pressure, the second serve became the kill shot. The Lind crowd was watching 2 completely different tennis philosophies physically argue with each other point by point. Alex was playing the Rafa Nadal Academy style of tennis, building the point, using heavy topspin to push opponents back, constructing geometry, trusting movement and endurance over time. Ostapenko was playing something altogether different. She wasn't interested in rallies or patterns or tactical construction. She wanted 2 shots, maximum. 1 to get the ball back in play, and 1 to end the point violently. On a hard court or slow outdoor clay in full sun, Alex's game might have neutralized that threat more effectively. But on indoor clay, where the ball stays a little lower, where the surface rewards flatter striking and quicker transitions, Ostapenko's game found just enough extra traction to tip the balance. Context matters in tennis, and the context of this specific surface on this specific day favored the aggressor. Here's what makes this loss different from a standard upset, though. Alexandra Eala is 20 years old. She just took a former French Open champion to 68 total points, converted 4 breaks of serve, and pushed the match to a genuine knife-edge margin while essentially playing the entire match with one hand tied behind her back. The second serve wasn't just a weakness, it was a complete non-factor, and she still nearly won. That tells you something enormous about the ceiling of this player. The physical tools are undeniably there. The left-handed topspin that was giving Ostapenko uncomfortable angles, the return game that generated 4 breaks against a top 5 seed, the movement, the composure, the ability to stay tactically engaged in a match that was slowly bleeding her dry from a serve mechanics standpoint. All of it points in one direction. But this match has given the coaching staff at the Rafa Nadal Academy one of the clearest, most specific development blueprints they could ask for. The second serve needs to be rebuilt from the ground up. Not tweaked, not adjusted at the margins, rebuilt. Alex needs a delivery with genuine kick, something that rises into the opponent's backhand shoulder, something that pushes players like Ostapenko back behind the baseline instead of inviting them to step inside it. A heavy kicking second serve doesn't just win points directly, it changes the entire psychological dynamic of a service game. It means that missing a first serve is no longer an automatic crisis. It means that opponents can't preload their return stance 2 meters inside the baseline from the first ball toss. It means that Alex's first serve can go back to being an actual weapon instead of a safety mechanism. The moment that second serve becomes reliable, everything else in her game unlocks. The topspin becomes more dangerous because opponents are already on their heels. The return games become less urgent because she's not constantly clawing back from service deficits. The match management becomes cleaner because she isn't operating under a constant guillotine. This defeat is not a ceiling, it's a floor. It's the lowest point of a very specific, very identifiable problem. And the fact that it's identifiable means it can be fixed. Alex Eala has now felt what it's like to be hunted at the top level of this tour. She's felt Ostapenko's return landing at her feet before she's even completed her service motion. She knows what that psychological pressure feels like from the inside. And that knowledge is genuinely priceless at this stage of a career. The players who absorb that kind of lesson early and come back with a specific answer are the ones who end up holding trophies. The ones who let it define them are the ones who quietly disappear from the draw in the second round every week. Everything we've seen from Alex suggests she's the former, not the latter. So no, the story isn't over. The hype hasn't died. The trajectory hasn't reversed. And this loss doesn't change the fundamental reality of what this player is becoming. She went into a lion's den, faced a champion, played with a broken weapon for 2 full sets, and still came within 6 points of pulling off something remarkable. That's not a warning sign. That's a foundation. We'll be watching every match, every adjustment, every upgraded delivery from the service line, because when Alex Eala comes back to the European clay with a rebuilt second serve, this tour is going to have a serious problem on its hands. Stay subscribed, because you don't want to miss the next chapter of this.